Okay, this one mindset will keep you broke. All right, I'm here at the Valley Vista Mall in Harlingen, and we have this marquee right here if you can see it. There's about 6 stores that are listed on this marquee, and this is in present day. In the past, there is no way that you would be able to list all these stores on the marquee because there were so many stores at this particular mall. And so I want to talk today about the mindset that will keep you broke. Because when you have situations like this, like you look at this parking lot, we are in a situation to where a mall like this in the past would have been full. All of these parking spaces would have been full, but these parking spaces are empty. In fact, as I look at this building behind me right here, this is where Dillard's used to be housed. Now that Dillard's is no longer there. That means that people that actually worked at that Dillard's no longer have a job. They are out of a job. And so we are in an economy with everything that's going on with the tariffs and just the different challenges that we have in our economy right now. And even with the government efficiency, the DOGE government organization that has been cutting jobs in the federal government. So many things going on that is making it a tough economy. Now is not the time to be broke. And there is a certain mindset that will just absolutely keep you broke. And what is that mindset? The mindset that you have to have payments. That payments are necessary for you to have things. Now, before I go further in this video, I would like to ask you to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you can know when I upload another video. All right, let's get back into this. One mindset that will keep you broke is feeling like you have to have payments. We live in a society where we're advertised to left and right. As soon as you get online, you're advertised to. If you're on YouTube right now, you probably sat through several different advertisements on different videos that you are watching. My channel is not monetized yet. I'm a relatively new creator, but in the future, it may be that even on my videos, there'll be a break or a pause for you to be advertised to get into your back pocket and get into your wallet for you to take some money out. And here in our culture, it is so thought of that you have to have payments on everything. And in fact, I was reading an article just before actually filming this particular video, and it was talking about all of the different payments that Americans have. Americans have, the biggest are home payments, anywhere from $1,800 a month to $2,000 a month for their home. We also have car payments. We have car payments in the $700 to all the way up to $1,000 a month for car payments. What is that all about? That is crazy. What are we doing having these $1,000 a month car payments? We also have credit card payments here in America. So credit card on average is $110 per credit card, and many people have multiple credit cards. So if you have 5 or 6 credit cards, you're looking at $500-600+ a month for credit cards. There's also many Americans that have student loan payments. I was in that category. In fact, my wife and I together had $160,000 worth of student loans. So we had a monster of a student loan situation, and we had to make big payments on our student loans. And so you have all of these different payments that Americans have. And it's tough. It's tough to make those payments. And if you're in a mindset where you feel like you have to have these payments to have things, you're probably going to be broke. And so in this video, I want you to entertain the idea that you do not have to have payments. It is not necessary for you to have them. You do not have to be trapped in payments. It's not necessary, okay? But to get there, to actually feel like that is a reality, you have to change your mindset. You have to be in a mental frame that says, I don't have to have these payments. I don't have to be a slave every single month to where as soon as I get my paycheck, it's going out to make others wealthy. Because that's basically what you're doing. Every time you send out a payment, instead of building your wealth, you're building someone else's wealth. And so you have to change the mindset. We feel like we have to have a payment. Like if we have a car, we can't have a car without a payment. It's the mindset. If you have a home, you can't have a home without a payment. It's the mindset. If you need to buy something, or not even need, if you want to buy something, you're like, oh, okay, I'll go ahead and buy it and put it on this credit card and have monthly payments. And we don't realize that that's compounding interest working against you with those credit cards. And so you're actually funding and making banks wealthy by having those credit cards and making payments on things like dinner. There are people who are going to go out to dinner tonight, and 5 years from now, they're still going to be paying for that dinner on that credit card. Crazy. But we do these things as Americans, and we feel like we have to have payments to do that. And I'm really beating this horse, so to speak, but you want to get in a mindset to where you realize that you don't have to have payments. Now, I understand reality, okay? Some of you might say, look, I don't have enough money to buy a car outright. I'm having to make it. I'm paycheck to paycheck, so I've got to use a credit card every once in a while to make a payment. You must make a mind shift. You must shift that thought process. I think back, I actually started my financial education and actually learning about personal finance about 25 years ago. At that time, my wife and I's student loan payments were coming in. We had credit card payments. We were just in a financial mess. And I remember I had to call my mom to borrow $400 to be able to meet the challenge of my financial situation. I felt very, very low at that point. But soon after that point, I started reading some books, and I started looking at personal finance, and I took it very, very seriously. And even at that time, I changed my mindset back when I was broke, back when I couldn't come up with $400. Still, my mindset, I was changing my mindset. And so what I did was I got it in my mind that I actually said a little prayer and thought, God, if you will teach me how to handle finances, I'll take it seriously. I'll take the steps. If you give me the knowledge, I will do what it takes to no longer have payments. That was my prayer to God. And guess what? I was able to find that information in books and change my mindset. And that's what I'm telling you. You've got to change your mindset. Whether you're broke or whether you actually have margin in your budget right now, you want to change your mindset. Here's something else I'll tell you about your mind, okay? If you get your mind straight, your mind is powerful, and your mind will start to look for solutions to the problem. Even as you sleep, your mind will look for solutions. And guess what? If you're watching this YouTube channel and you're watching this video, that's part of the knowledge that you're taking in. Your mind will digest that, and your mind will start to come up with solutions. I often talk about the basics on this channel. Getting a $2,000 emergency fund, doing whatever it takes to get that. selling something. Recently, we had tax returns. Whatever it takes to get $2,000 in a high-yield savings account or something like a high-yield savings account, getting that $2,000. If you have a company match where you work, something like a 401k, take advantage of that. Then get rid of the consumer debts, like the credit cards that we've been talking about in this particular video. And then getting rid of any other debts that you might have, furniture debts, and God forbid if you got caught up in like these payday loans or tote the note kind of, you know, where you give the place your title and they give you money. And so you're actually putting your car in jeopardy. If you got anything like that, getting rid of all of that stuff, okay? And then maybe even getting rid of your mortgage debt. But even if you don't get rid of your mortgage debt, already starting to build wealth by, on a regular basis, whether it's weekly or monthly or whatever, actually investing in something like paper assets and index funds, okay? And so you can do all of those things if you don't have payments, but it starts with your mind. It starts by changing that mindset that I am not going to be a slave to payments anymore. And it may take some time for you to no longer be a slave to payments, but it starts in your mind. Once you have your mind made up, you will move closer and closer and closer to eliminating those debts and having margin in your budget and being able to actually get to a point to where you're building wealth and getting complete control of your finances. But I've been having quite a few conversations with people in the last week or so. And so many people just think that they have to have payments. You don't. The car that I drive all the time is my '97 Honda Civic. I purchased that car in 1999. If I were to sell that car today, I couldn't sell it for more than $2,000. I drive that car, that's my main daily driver. And every time I turn that thing on, it comes on. And I have colleagues at work and friends that have newer cars that have given them more problems than my old 1997 Honda Civic. So there are reliable cars out there that are highly affordable, like my '97 Honda Civic. You just have to change your mindset. You have to have the mindset with the car that you're gonna buy a car that you can afford. You are not gonna go out there and get into a payment to where you're a slave to payments and making someone else wealthy while you struggle. So this is a big one. Have the mindset that you're no longer going to have payments. And this will go a long way to keeping you from staying in the cycle where you're broke. Again, if you found some value in this particular video, hit that like button, okay? Also, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a video. Again, I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope it helps. Thanks.